welcome to another episode of
Good News, everyone!
Good News, Everyone is the show that helps us all stay sane while we're on lockdown. I know I said we'd be back to my regularly scheduled face, but honestly, I lied. This works a lot better for me, and my computer, and even my face. So, get used to it, I guess. Today's Instagram recommendation is none other than Tom Holland. Yes, that Tom Holland. It's Spider-Man. While he doesn't make actual posts very often, he does post to his stories pretty regularly, and they're both entertaining and adorable. For example, his family recently bought some hens because of the egg shortage. Let's watch.
To solve that problem, we would become the source of eggs. So now we're the owners of chickens. This is Predator. Over there is Chestnut Ranger. Be free, my friend.
Today's Twitter account is Eiffel Art, otherwise known as Matt Cummings, an artist in Nova Scotia. He specialises in traditional and digital landscapes and backgrounds for animations and games, etc., and his work is amazing. I mean, just look at this. He also streams on Twitch, where he both paints and plays things like Minecraft, but also SNES games. I am assuming this is at different times. So as with everything on this show, this Twitter account comes highly recommended. Today's live cam is once again from the Netherlands. This time it's the CAVIA Foundation in Blackadder. I was delighted to find out that CAVIA means guinea pig in Dutch, so enjoy watching these furry little potatoes frolic and chill out in a big old piggy paradise filled with straw and guinea pig food. What else can I say? It's great! Today's YouTube account is Thomas Heaton, a photographer from the UK. I personally enjoy his work because he's a pretty no-nonsense landscape photographer, and he often goes wild camping where he'll park himself in a little tent at the top of a mountain in the wind and the rain to get beautiful sunrise shots and things like that. His vlogs are very relaxing, and it's particularly nice now to see the UK landscape I'm missing. But he's been all over, and I very much enjoy watching him tramp all over mountains and deserts that I will never visit. I wasn't very outdoorsy even before the lockdown and arthritis. His videos are also interesting at the moment because what is a landscape photographer to do when they can't go to the landscape? It's been very entertaining watching a guy in a onesie realise that indoor macro photography is hard. Today's book is Aldolf Hitler, My Part in His Downfall by Spike Milligan. It's the first part of his war memoirs and was planned as a trilogy but ultimately ended up as a 7-part series. This is another recommendation from a friend, but having read this quote, I highly suspect this is a book for me. At Victoria Station, the RTO gave me a travel warrant, a white feather and a picture of Hitler marked, "This is your enemy." I searched every compartment, but he wasn't on the train. Try as I might, I have been unable to get this book so far as it's out of stock, but it's on the list as something to look forward to. Today's television series is Blackadder. All of it. My personal favourite season is Blackadder the second, closely followed by the third, but they are all good. The first season is a little rough around the edges, and the gut punch at the end of the fourth season is something you remember for a long time, but generally speaking, Blackadder is bloody hilarious. The sitcom stars Rowan Atkinson as various incarnations of Edmund Blackadder, long-suffering prince, lord, butler, and World War I captain respectively. Accompanied by Baldrick, his uniquely disgusting foil, along with Fry and Laurie in various roles, with Rick Mail and Miranda Richardson, as well as Tom Baker in one very memorable role. I cannot express how much I love this ridiculous series. It is available on UK Netflix, but alas, only seasons 1 and 2. To go with Blackadder as my TV recommendation, today's podcast is Hardcore History. These are not short episodes by any means, but Dan Carlin takes a unique approach to a history podcast. Aside from the fact that he has a wonderful voice for podcasting, Carlin is a self-proclaimed fan of history rather than a historian, and the way he talks about historical events is honestly compelling. Put it this way, I opened a podcast to have a quick listen and suddenly 45 minutes had gone past. Today's uplifting news is about oxpeckers. No really, oxpeckers. I just like saying oxpeckers because I am a child. So, you are all undoubtedly familiar with those birds that sit on various large animals and eat parasites that live on them. Yum. A chap writing his doctoral thesis, wrote in plots, had observed the fact that of the rhinos he was observing that didn't have an oxpecker riding around on them were much worse at detecting humans than ones that did. Rhinos have notoriously poor eyesight, but excellent hearing, and oxpeckers hiss when they see danger. Plots then theorised that reintroducing oxpeckers to areas with high levels of poaching might help reduce the number of rhinos poached from them. So in essence, a burglar alarm. Oxpeckers. Today's stuff to do is yoga! We're all mostly staying in these days, and I don't know about you, but I am not inclined to fitness activities, and arthritis aside, I am getting very stiff. Yoga helps a lot. Now obviously you must do your research and start slowly, and if you're like me and have joint problems, chair yoga is also a thing. There are hundreds of videos on, you guessed it, YouTube, and gyms are also live streaming classes. So, you know, give it a try. It's very relaxing, and it also helps with mindfulness. Today's stuff to do for kids is a paper obstacle course, also known as the Laser Beam Challenge. Basically, you get strips of paper. The internet recommends crepe paper, but any will do, to be honest. Tape them up in various configurations in a hallway in your house. The object is then to get from one end of the hallway to the other without breaking a paper strip. And that's it for today's good news. I am still very much taking recommendations for all the things, and I hope you had a good weekend, and you have a good week to match. Do you think men get training? Or do they just pick it up as they go along? Bye!